Caddo Parish, I was up late. Caddo Parish Sheriff Steve Prator is here. Hey, Mr. Steve, how are you this morning?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Well, today's a big day. How many? What's the final total? What's the number statewide? You said
1,900 are going to be released statewide.
1,900 early release prisoners across the state. You have been less than overjoyed at this occurrence.
Yes, sir,
Have you changed your opinion on this, or are you still as critical as you were, say, a couple of weeks ago?
Well, I'm as critical. I've been misquoted and misinterpreted and mistaken so many different times. But I'm as concerned as I was before, not because of a great number of them. A bunch of them maybe can do good and have the skills now to do better. But there's a number of them that are sex offenders and violent criminals that are being released early, contrary to what may be said by anyone else, or the Department of Corrections, or the state, or anyone. I mean, I can prove it. I can show it. I mean, it's even listed. They're listed on the Department of Corrections on their literature that they send as violent felon or sex offender. So anyway, that's what I've been complaining about. That and a number of other things in the law.
What's going to be the impact in Caddo? I know there's about 200 in Caddo. I think you told me about 60 from your jail, but overall 200 who were convicted here who are being released, right?
That's correct. We have so many prisoners that are convicted in Caddo courts that we have to ship them out to other sheriff's offices or to the state or whoever will take them. That's why I had to laugh when people said that I'm against this because it affects the money. It doesn't affect the money for us because we generate our own criminals.
Mm-hmm.
We convict our own. We keep as many as we need.
Mr. Steve,
we fill up our jail.
Was this, in your opinion, just a bad idea from inception to passing the legislature, or is it bad in its implementation? And what I mean is, if I gave a list of potential early release prisoners to Steve Prator and let you pick, would you pick better ones? And then would you feel better about the whole idea?
Well, I'm not going to call anybody better or good, or I got the bind over that. But yes, sir, it needs a better vetting process. And just like the legislative auditor in the latest DLC audit that came out yesterday, it shows that they're insufficient and ineffective in their monitoring of the prisoners and determining release dates. I mean, how are we going to have justice reinvestment if we can't track these folks, if we can't determine who and when they accurately need to be getting out of jail? And so we need to get that system straight. The prison system in Louisiana needs reformation, but it needs reformation at the front end. At CCC right now, we have about 900 prisoners that are awaiting trial compared to 350 state prisoners that are convicted. And I say we work on the 900. It's like that all across the state of Louisiana. You have so many in jail that can't make bond or don't make bond or whatever the situation is. That's where we need to work on our reform and getting our numbers down. But, of course, that doesn't save the state money. That just saves the parish's money.
You told us before that the cart's before the horse here, in that we were promised we were going to have rehab programs as part of this, and to help these inmates. But this first wave of released inmates, those programs aren't in place yet, or are they? Have you got a bunch of programs up and going that you've put these folks through?
Well, there's two issues. One, CCC. What we do out there, we probably lead the state in the number of programs that we offer and graduate prisoners through. But the state of Louisiana is what they're trying to do is let a bunch of folks out, save some money, and then develop these programs with some of the money that's saved, and the rest of the money that's saved will go into the general fund of the state of Louisiana. That's like I can see doing that with roads. Okay, you increase your gas tax so you can fix your roads, and then you start fixing your roads once you get the money. But this is much more serious than that. This is our safety we're talking about. And so it's not the roads. So we can't save the money and then implement the programs. We need to implement the programs and then pay for the programs, however. So it's the whole thing, and I can't tell you. We don't have enough time to go into some of the things about this law that I think are counterproductive to the safety and protection of property of the citizens of Louisiana.
I know you don't want to talk about this, but I'm going to ask you. How long is it going to be, Sheriff Steve Prator, before I call you and ask you about one of these early released inmates who is out and who has committed a violent crime?
Well, naturally, my answer is I hope that doesn't happen. I look at myself doing this. I'm not saying the sky's falling, and that's the same term I used when I was talking about the Red River. My job is to warn people, to alert people, to say that something's not right, that you need to understand what's going on, and to bring awareness to situations. Hopefully that won't happen, but we know it will. We know that some of these people are just repeat offenders, repeat violent offenders. And nothing's going to change that until their heart is changed, and we all know how that happens. And so it's going to happen.
So what do you say to the victim and the family of that person who's become a victim of one of these cats?
Well, that's what I've done for the last 40 years. Is have to go notify victims. I stand over a party where somebody's been shot or stabbed or raped or something by somebody that didn't serve all their time, or that pled down to something 4 or 5 times and got a suspended sentence, or got a reduction in sentence or good time. And then I have to go tell the families, oh, this person should have been in jail anyway. I've been doing that for so many years, and that's why I'm so passionate about this. If a person, it takes a lot to get in jail, Erin. You get caught and you get diverted. You get caught and you get another chance, and you get caught or you don't get caught after you've done it. And then finally the day of reckoning comes and you get caught and you get a 5-year sentence and you serve 8 months. The victims think you're serving 5 years, but you're serving about 8 months. And then, so I get frustrated, but I deal with it.
What are you going to do? Technically, what are you going to do for the release at Caddo? Are you going to open the doors at a certain time? Or are you going to let them out a few at a time? What's going to be the procedure here?
Oh, we'll just let them out a few at a time, or however, as soon as we process them out. We don't, because we're not looking at these people like evil people. These people are going back into our community. We wish and hope that they do well. We're not like marking a big A on their forehead. We're trying to, we want to help them. If we can help them to keep from reoffending, we want to do that. So we're not out there with a bad attitude. Yesterday evening, all the sheriffs got a letter from the Department of Corrections and said, oh, by the way, if anybody needs bus transportation, please buy them a ticket, and if you have the proper paperwork, the Department of Corrections will reimburse you.